I'm just wondering, has anyone ever noticed this about Mike Mignola's art? It's I don't know if at some stage in his career he just realized that he didn't enjoy drawing comics from like certain camera angles, so he just stuck to kind of a specific formula, which really works. And I always felt myself, when I was trying to draw comic pages, that I needed to like change the angle and be dynamic. And you hear a lot of people saying about all this kind of dynamic stuff, but Mignola doesn't do that from what I'm seeing. Like, it's all, every single shot is kind of like just almost like a 2D computer game. It's like everything is just kind of this like side on eye level shots. Like, there's no like camera's not coming down or looking overhead or any kind of like warp perspective or trying to do anything like fancy like that. It's just everything. There's kind of like if it feels sometimes like it's a play on a stage and you're sitting in the audience watching it. Now, don't get me wrong, like, it's some of the best like comic books you're ever gonna see out there. Like, I've heard a lot of people say Mignola's style is one of these kind of artists that all other artists look up to. So I don't know if a regular reader would get the kind of same vibe, but like this second issue of Seed of Destruction, like, it's got the they come to this kind of creepy house. Like, Hellboy has his team, they come to this house, and I love they kind of build up this Abe Sapien character. Like, they keep him lurking in the shadows, see, like, and he's got his hat on, and like the woman in the house keeps saying, do you want to take your coat and your hat off? And he's like, no, I'm grand. And they're staying there tonight because they're kind of do some investigation. It's to lead into Hellboy's mentor's death. Like, he had gone on this expedition, and I heard 3 sons had gone too and gone missing. The house is kind of on cursed land. It's somewhere in the US. I think they call it Cavendish House or something like that. Like, but the essentially, there's loads of all this really cool, like, the way Mignola draws all these kind of historical photos. Like, it just really feels like you're in that time. It really feels like this book happened back then, and it's just linked in. Like, this actually looks kind of like, I don't know if anyone's familiar with Shackleton, Ernst Shackleton. His expeditions to the North Pole, or was it the Northwest Passage, or something like that, up kind of to the icy areas up north. But these photos remind me of that. But like, the book, it just has that really cool kind of establishing a situation in this house, the history of the house, who the players are, and like a lot of cool stories, when they come in, they're staying the night, and they go to their rooms and stuff, and there's a bit of kind of bit of creepiness going on, and then one of Hellboy's teammates goes missing, and she goes missing just before he sends Abe Sapien to kind of dive down into the water to do a bit of investigation. I absolutely love this panel here. It's kind of like this one here. I don't know, you just get this real sense of scale of this house that they're staying in. Like, and it's so simple. Like, you can see Hellboy up in the window, and obviously Abe Sapiens dive down into this water. But I don't know, just the way Mignola does this, it's all so basic and simple, but it's just beautiful. Like, even the face of I can't remember this character's name now. I'm kind of just getting into names. Like, even that there is beautiful. Like, such a cool face. And you kind of forget that they're in modern times. They're talking on mobile phones, like kind of bigger, bulkier mobile phones. Like, but it's kind of that's how effective it is at doing the old style world, because you feel like you're in that time. But it's that kind of crossroads, which is really cool. But this scene here is amazing. Like, it's kind of round 2. Hellboy's fighting with these. I think I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, the sons are these frog creatures, like, and or they're tied in with that expedition or something. I've kind of forgotten that part, but essentially this guy turns into another frog and they have a fight. The fight is beautiful. Like, I love the way Mignola just exaggerates the proportions at times, like, and these shots here, like, just with his, I think it's called a Hand of Doom or something, and just the folds in his coat, like, because I know in the first fight he whipped his coat off for the fight, but this one he's keeping it on, like, and it just looks really cool. This frog character is amazing. Just his limbs, his hands, the tongue flapping around everywhere, like, it's absolutely gorgeous. And then this, a bit more punching and stuff, like, and this, just these two panels here, like that shot there. Now here you get a little bit of a perspective feel to Mignola's work, because it's such a high shot. It almost feels like that the camera is looking up under those arches, these archways here, as the two of them, like, break through this balcony, and, like, even just that darkness down there, that silhouette, and then, like, the two of them fall down, and, like, most of Hellboy is in silhouette there, just kind of the tops of his arms and a bit of his head and his eyes. And then just a great finisher here, like, he picks up this massive vase and just smashes it over this dude's head, like, it's such a great issue. Like, they bring in the like, Abe Sapien goes off, and even this shot here, like, he comes up into this, I don't know, like a hidden chamber, and there's these, like, old statues. Like, Mignola just does it's like, sometimes I think he's got a statue fetish, and like, there's just statues everywhere in Hellboy, but it adds to the vibe of this book. Like, it just adds so much weight to it, like. And then, like, he goes back to the woman, and it turns out she's been manipulated by this guy. This is the guy that brought Hellboy into the world, and still don't know who he is. I guess we might find out in the next issue, but essentially it ends with Hellboy getting pulled down by this giant squid, and that ties in quite well, because they talk about the house slowly kind of falling into the ground, and how, like, the lower floors are almost in the water and stuff, like, so it almost feels like a watery, cursed, ancient kind of structure that, it's just getting consumed by, I don't know, all sorts of evil shit, like. But I leave it at that. Very, very good, I have to say. Beautiful stuff from Mike Mignola.